So you might be taking a look at all these AI mastering platforms and you're questioning, well, that's $10 versus hiring a professional mastering engineer, which is a lot more. Should I just do AI mastering for my songs? Today we're going to be doing a shootout between myself as a mastering engineer and Landr AI mastering. Hi, my name's Tyson. I'm a mastering engineer here at Dinosaur Dog Mastering, and today we're gonna be doing a shootout between myself and Landr to see who can do a better master. Ultimately, decide whether you should be using AI mastering services, which one is the best, etc. So all of that stuff yet to come. But before I dive into that, I want to give to you a free bonus for watching this video. That is my Mastering for Self-Producers guide. It is a full checklist that you can walk through in order to get a professional master yourself. And it is my entire mastering chain inside of a checklist and guide that you can get for free. It is in the description of this video, or you should also find a link to that on the first comment below this video as well. So if you don't see it, make sure you check those two places, and then you'll be able to download the Mastering for Self-Producers checklist. Okay, with that said, let's dive straight into the content of Landr mastering versus a professional mastering engineer mastering. What is better, and is the cost worth it? Here's the A/B between mastering engineer versus Landr. So I'm gonna play the mastering engineer version first, so my master, and then I'll play the Landr version here for you. So here is my master, and then we'll switch back. Don't follow me down. I'm just a lost soul. Want to go through my experience a little bit with mastering with Landr before I dive into my actual analysis between the two. So first of all, Landr is pretty easy to use. You just upload your song, you do the thing, and then you're good to go. I'll give it on convenience factor, 10 out of 10. Way better than working with a real mastering engineer because you get an instant result, it does its thing, and it spits it back at you. The cons of this are it doesn't really take into account what you want very much. You have a very simple algorithm. So if you go here, you can, change the style a little bit and the loudness, but really there's not much there to be able to use and customize with your master. Unlike a mastering engineer will be able to make much more distinctive decisions on what actually to do on your master on your song to make it the best it possibly can be. So that's the downside, is there's very limited control with Landr. However, based on my previous experience using some other AI mastering tools such as Mixia, Landr is actually quite a bit better. It doesn't degrade the audio file nearly as much as Mixia did in my other AI mastering video. But the biggest thing that I don't like about the Landr file and diving into the actual master here is that they way overhyped the low end. And that might be good for certain genres. I think they probably introduced some kind of hip hop songs in their algorithm, and that really threw off this particular master a lot. This master should be really well sonically balanced. I didn't want an overhyped low end. I wanted everything to be well balanced and kind of in your face, a little bit aggressive in nature, but the Landr master really did not capture that at all. It was very, very low end heavy. It probably, again, it looks to me like what I would expect from a hip hop master, and this is not a hip hop song. So that was my biggest complaint with it. And then also, if you look at the top end, they did not brighten it up very much at all. Original mix for you as well. So here's the unmixed version. So, it's louder, it's slightly better, but again, it's just so warm and not in like a full musical way. It's just overhyped. So that was, again, biggest complaint by far is that low end. And The other thing is that top end, if you listen to the top end, it really doesn't really boost it that much. Comparatively to mine, you have a lot more of that top end presence. You can really hear it in the cymbals of the drums. A real mastering engineer will be able to really soften up that top end and bring it out in a musical way without actually making it sound overcooked, too overly bright. I don't think that the Landr algorithm really quite gets that. Don't follow me down. And you bring in a lot of that brightness out of the vocals as well, whereas the Landr master really just doesn't bring out those vocals. Don't follow me down. So it sounds a lot more saturated as well in just kind of a not musical way. It's more saturated. And I don't think there's any benefit of that from the Landr master. The true value in AI mastering is its convenience. And what I think is great about AI mastering is that if you want to, you can sign up for one of these services, get unlimited mastering, right? Because nobody's actually spending their time mastering your songs. And you can use it for demos, for, pitching songs to artists. And you say, hey, I have, produced this track. I want you to, sing on it or whatever. Here's what it sounds like. And you can get a really, really quick, easy master without actually having to pay anybody else to do it or just spend the time to do it yourself. It's just convenience is everything with AI mastering. That is the one way that I would recommend you actually use AI mastering, is just out of convenience for demos, for pitching, for anything like that. I would never use it for an actual release of a song because the quality just isn't there quite yet. Landr so far, I've only tried a few of these, but Landr so far is actually the best, which I was kind of surprised about. I was surprised at the quality that Landr was able to produce. Again, I don't think it really nails it in terms of the actual mastering process and skill. If you want to learn how to master your own music even better than Landr, then you can pick up that mastering checklist down below in the description or on the first comment. There should be a link to get that mastering checklist as well, so you can master your own songs like a pro. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.